Oh, look.
Yes.
Is the spiral a vestige?
A last vestige.
Oh, a last vestige?
Or
will I go on
in waves? What will be left? What will be left? What will I be? Sheer terror?
Sheer terror. My name is Corazon del Sol, and I'm an artist. And I've been spending the last year and a half archiving my mom's work. Over 1,000 artworks. We've been unrolling them, we've been flattening them, we've been cleaning them, we've been photographing them. I've been getting to be in relationship with all these pieces for over a year and a half, which is one of the most stupendous experiences of my life. Why so hard? Is there anything there, or is it just pain?
Why thing which, no, let me be seen.
My mom was an amazing conceptual artist. She started in the mid-60s, was a big part of the early conceptual movement, only woman, completely written out of history. And then in the early 70s, she moved to Colombia, and she raised me in Colombia. And her whole artistic practice pivoted towards magic and spell making. When she was at UC Berkeley in '68 with Jim Melcher, studying the dematerialization of the object, my mom asked for a whole semester off so she could just study invisibility. She was like, fuck the object. I want to dematerialize myself. She'd always say that conceptual art was a capitalist form of magic. She had a really robust practice. She lived in Lincoln Heights for years and was never really recognized. She died in 2008, and I had to fill a whole U-Haul full of things to bring down to LA. And I discovered some of her biggest works that she ever made and that I had never seen. And I was so taken with them that I wanted other artists to see them. So I was putting them on my living room floor and inviting artist friends. I was like, before these go into storage, everyone has to see them because I don't know when they'll ever be seen again. And one of the people who came to see them was Lauren, because I have such respect for her as an artist. And she spent some time really like being present with the work. She said, you know, I think you should be our next project for special projects in archiving. And at the time, I didn't know what she was talking about. And then Carolyn reached out to me a few weeks later and was like, hey, I want you to come to the space to meet and talk about the project of archiving your mom's work.
So I am Carolina Isaguer, and I am taking care of the collection, preserving, and working on this special project in archiving.
I thought maybe I'd have use of one of the rooms. She was like, no, you have this whole space. I'm an archivist. I'll be here once a week helping you archive. And it's just been this dream come true. We're in the A. Quincy Jones barn in Century City.
Metabolic Studio has been conducting special projects in archiving in this space called the barn, which was the former studio and house of the architect Archibald Quincy Jones.
Metabolic Studio got it historical monument status, so it couldn't be torn down because every single thing in this neighborhood gets torn down and turned into ugly condos.
This collection itself from the barn is a special project in archiving from Archibald Quincy Jones.
We're archiving inside of an archive, which is so amazing.
Yeah.
Like right behind you there.
Yeah.
All this is his archive. All these little drawers are full of his things.
This has been a beautiful journey to meet Corazon and to excavate, decipher, communicate with Eugenia and Corazon.
Carolyn taught me how to archive the work properly, unrolling it, putting weights on it, for up to a month, and then turning it over, putting weights on it on the other side, cleaning them. We discover this, and then we discover this a week later, let's say, and then I have months of kind of processing. What does it mean? How do they connect? Then I'll start doing research about something that she's written. I knew that it was this alchemical symbol, but I didn't know the whole history. So we started researching it. And what we found was that it started as a Sumerian symbol about transformation, the snake on the staff. It became the doctor's symbol, but then it also became the symbol of the American dollar. My mom struggled her whole life financially. You know, she made this like very avant-garde work that people just were not buying. She could never pay the rent. She could barely pay for her food. So on the one hand, it's a spell for money. She has written with her hand like over and over. It's like, help, I need money. But simultaneously, it's a deep critique of capitalism and how it always usurps the power of the collective. It captures the collective imagination to kind of limit our understanding of what's possible.
Sometimes we are questioning, and here is suddenly Eugenia appearing in her concept, and we're like, wow, great! We unveil some of her process, how she thinks.
We've been talking like, oh, we should make a tarot deck with these images, and then like a month ago, we found a really large drawing, and it's directions for the box for her tarot deck.
Right.
And we were like, what the heck?
Yes. So it's always magical how she has, she appears.
Home, self, and
Still.
I seems too far away. I will change. I am bigger.
I figure it out. I don't want to become a dishwasher.
I don't know if you can imagine, like, we just found this piece, you know, like imagine I'm an archivist, but it's also my mother. So I'm also like discovering aspects of my mother while I'm doing this whole project. A lot of the works are meant to touch and move. They have like so many different dimensions that come alive depending on the light. Understanding that there's like so many possible realities in one reality. And then on the back of it, it says, at the edge of the universal fabric with Ulysses' hand mirror. It came in the Book of Lies with a hook and gives instructions to hang it into the corner of a room. She gave the prompt to people in the Book of Lies, if the world is full of lies, then what is truth? In the first one, it's about the moon, and is the moon reflected light or is it permeating light? These are this kind of material project that she would do with silk, where it becomes a skin. And so she talked about them as the flickering light, the veils that catch the flickering light in the cave. So when you have a fire in a cave and how the light flickers onto the cave, it becomes a veil of reality, because so much of the time spent in the cave was this like deep ritualistic practices of inhabiting other worlds and other dimensions. And the womb, of course, you know. So it's also about being in the womb as a baby and being in the womb in a larger scale as an animal on the planet. And so, and it just says lie-lessness. And this is the one that she ended up using, but I think there's like 60 different versions in here. And this one is actually my favorite. It says, I can never lie to you. If so much of her work is a critique of systems of domination, the antidote for that would be intimacy. And intimacy can't happen in a lie. This one I see clearly in the light of an accidental beam of the harvest moon. I can never lie to you. Lielessness, she burnt it. There's some where it's like fully hidden inside of this. It says, I can never lie to you, but it's like covered with wax so many times you can barely see it. There's always two conversations. So there's in red that the deepest fears that she's processing, and then it'll be a response. The room
Term.
changing, turning, changing, not too cold.
Moon.
Runs out. The room running out. Why turn? The pain won't stop.
The abyss. The abyss.
Which can
Help.
I don't know the
Help me. Help me. Slam. Lift. Oh, what is that? Slam. She's mysterious.
it's a lot of processing deep pain.
Yes.
I mean, I think that's also its power, and I think honestly that's a big reason that it's been so overlooked is because it really addresses her own pain. And I think it's a collective pain that we are basically under soft fascism for so long, and our kind of process of pain has been just to like focus on the surface and buy things and make art that like looks cool and be cool, and it's like we're never going to heal until we process this really deep pain. So as a young girl, my mom would have me use my imagination. And if I was going through a difficult moment with something, she would be like, okay, we're going to create an imaginary tool to help you in moving through that with as much ease as possible. And I would talk with her about what was going on and close my eyes and have to really like process what I needed in that moment. And this is Eugenia processing. This is her process of tool making. And it's something that you can hold in your hand. It's a vagina, it's a penis, it's a shell, it's a lightning bolt. She's channeling, so I don't think she's fully aware of what she was making when she was making it. But it's a tool to navigate a brokenhearted world. It also rewrites the idea of conceptual art. I'm calling it feminine conceptualism, where you're really tapping into a collective imagination, a collective history to create tools to help us transcend all of the madness that's going on. Could also have the, what does that say? Function as a mental focusing agent. So this could be a mental focusing agent. It says 2 lumps of clay, not earthy clay, such as would be found in a ravine or sandy torrent, and they smell very much like a skin of a man.
And then she gives directions, alabaster. This is not quite it, but I keep going back to ID? No.
Yeah.
ID of
19th century dark rounded sitting room pieces
with strange
nautical
brass photo machinery.
skin appears receptive mirror as a brilliant animated membrane, obsidian mirror. The magic mirror that's in Mayan culture, I think, Aztec culture, in so many different cultures, the women would look into the obsidian mirror and really they would use it as a gazing tool to kind of hone in on your intuition and talk to the universe and figure out what's the right path. Going through my mom's work, I'm like, how the hell did she do this in one lifetime?
Yeah, it's like she had this ability probably because of extreme pain,
Yes.
to go in that world, on this planet, like, and become a portal. You always tell me how she reads so quickly.
She loved the LA Public Library. That was like her favorite thing. And she'd go and she'd literally come out with like so many books she could. And she was short. She like came up to here. She'd be carrying all the books. And she could read. She'd like eat them. She could read like 3 books in a day. It was just this like little rolled up thing. And then we realized, because it's on such thin vellum, that it's 22 feet long. And it's this entire scroll of a kind of cosmology of all of these ideas. It's also about the really real practice of bringing the ideas into fruition through object making. So it's like coiled stuffed leather. Does it have holes? Is it a universal jump starter? And it's all these, it's not her knowing, it's her really kind of grappling with all the possibilities. I keep going back to my thoughts about why do I do this in the first place, making art. The process of like the deeper spiritual meanings, it's being fleshed out with like the materiality of the work. You see so many of the roots of so much of her practice in here. The world I want to see is a world where intimacy and interconnectedness are championed. And my mom's entire practice is about that. Each of the pieces is a spell. There are these like really amazing maps and tools that she's generating for the future, for people to be able to use to navigate what it is to be alive and the pain of being alive. And so I feel a real sense of urgency to share the work. I want them to be used and shared and seen by as many people as possible, because we need it right now so badly in this moment of fascism.